In this video, I'm going to show how to configure the sequencer or the order of the element during data entry operations. So let's start by launching CleanSoft. Log in using your username and password. So let's say here we have our two forms, form daily, which is this one. Let's say you want to enter data for only one parameter, let's say rainfall alone. So you have like rainfall data for the whole year and you want to enter them alone. So here what you need to do is to set your sequencer. What you do if you close this one, so you want to enter data for only precipitation. So in this case you need to set your sequencer for only to allow only one parameter. And to do this, you need to come here under the tools, the menu tools, and then sequencer configuration, and you want to enter daily data. Click here. So here it is empty. So the sequencing is empty, it's empty. So you need to enter data for only one parameter. So let's say this is precipitation. So there is some explanation here. Say it is the element codes to switch the order elements when entering daily data using this form. You can add a new record or delete an existing record if required. First column is incremented automatically when entering a new record. So that means this column, you will not touch on this, but what you need to do is to click here. So we are saying you are going to enter this element, which is element 5 alone. So you have data for only precipitation and you are going to enter only data for precipitation. So that means you are going to just put precipitation here and then you update this. Update it successfully and then you close. If you go back again and check daily, you see now your sequencer is setting to receive only one parameter, which is rainfall alone. So you are going to enter data for one parameter only. So then come to your data entry forms. So you are going to enter daily data. Open this form. So by default, it will show this element, but you need to change this and click element 5. And then let's say you are going to enter data for year 2020, January, at this hour. So and then you can say maybe this January there was 0 rainfall. Enter. Say rainfall, please. You missed something under the total. Please 0. The total should be 0. You need to save. Yes. So what you are going to see is when you save, it will go to the next month. So once you click on save, are you sure you want to save? Yes. So what you are going to see, it will go to the next month. Yes. Automatically by clicking add new. Once you click on add new, it will go to the next month. And then you say, okay, even the next month my values were 0. So it keep on the same element, but it will go to the next month. Yes. By clicking on add new, it will go to the following month and so on. Maybe say yes, it was also 0. This month was full of zeros. So you need to confirm. By add new, it will go to the another month and so on. So after all the months, it will go to the another year and so on and so on and so on. So let's say here it was also zeros this month, but there were some missing values. So here you just remove values, enter, remove. These are days with missing. So we miss precipitation on this day. So was no observation at all. So the total should be 0 here. And then on 4th, uh, this is April. Yeah, so there is what is called flag. This is very important. Under flag, automatically where there is no value, the system put that M under flag. That means there is no value or missing. Not also whatever for period. So this whatever value this is self for period. So let's say uh, today is uh, so maybe let's say today is Friday and the observer was not there on Saturday and Sunday, and you just come. So your last observation was on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday you did not go to work, and you just report on Monday, and you find there is some water in your rain gauge. But this water is not from. It's not for only one day. It's for like it is for Saturday and Sunday. So in this case, what you can do, you can say, okay, I found maybe when you measure the water, maybe you can say I found 12. This is 12.5 millimeters of water, but this is not for only one day. So this is for 3 days or for 2 days. So this for 3 days. So I found in my rain gauge water for 3 days. So this is where you put the 3 under the period. So this water is not for one day, it's for 3 days, and then say enter. Then you continue like this. And then maybe they are missing where there is no observation, they are missing and so on and so on. So but this is how to set the sequencer for only one element. So after typing 1 month, it will call the next month and so on and so on and so on. Now let's look at the hourly data now. So you want to enter hourly data, you go to the hourly form. But here, let's say you want to enter, you have data for one element as well, which is maybe can be dry bulb temperature. So you need to set this in your sequencer. You come here to the sequencer for hourly data. It is empty and you want to enter data for only one element, which is element 101, which is that dry bulb temperature. So here you update this one. You click on update to make sure you saved this value. So that means here you are going to enter hourly data for this element, which is element 101, which is dry bulb temperature. So and then you come back to the data entry forms and the hourly data. By default, it will show this one, but for you, say you want 01, this one is for dry bulb temperature. And say, let's say maybe for this month, it was 25. So, or the for this day rather, it was 25. Although this is just to help us to move faster. And then you okay. So by clicking add new, it will stay on the same element but bring the second day. Add new, you see, bring automatically the second day. So let's say this is 230 on day 2. Save, yes. So when you click add new, it will bring the third day, day 3, but the same element. So you are moving days, but you keep on the same element because you have only one element. Let's say it was 24. Once you save, it will go to the next day and so on, but it keeps the same element. Okay, now let's say now you don't have, you want to type more than one element. And let's start here with the daily form. So if you have more than one element, so that means you need to set them here to make sure it goes from one element to another and so on and so on. After all the elements, it goes to the next month and so on. So that means, let's say maybe here you have precipitation. Let's say here you have like maximum temperature and then minimum and then precipitation. Then say update. Yes, so that means start with maximum temperature and then minimum and then precipitation. After precipitation, you go back to maximum, minimum precipitation, and then maximum, minimum and so on. So that's the loop, a kind of order. So then here you close, go back again to check. You see now here it is. It has set now. This mean you have like this file. Yeah, this file you have precipitation, maximum and minimum temperature. So like such that you need to set for 3 parameters. So you set for maximum, minimum and rainfall. After that for day 1, it will go to day 2 and so on. And so on. But we'll start with maximum, minimum and rainfall. After that day, it will go to the next day, then maximum, minimum and precipitation, so on and so on. So let's see how it work. So that means to start with maximum minimum precipitation for one day. After this, it go to the next day, maximum minimum precipitation. Next day, maximum minimum and precipitation. So let's see how it work. Yeah, so let's remove all the data in these forms. In this form to make sure we are on the same page. The last one. This is the button to remove. So our daily form is empty. And we want to enter the data for let's start with the maximum temperature. Let's say it was 3 30 degrees Celsius. So here you normally type 300, but you'll divide by 10. So this one you set under your metadata configuration. So though this is to avoid to type with comma decimal or decimal. So to move faster, you will not type decimals, but you set this. So by typing this, you know that the last digit is a decimal. So this will divide by 10. So that means this is 300 means 30. But this you set somewhere in the under metadata. So you are typing, this is just an example for maximum temperature. Save. So once I click add new, the next element to appear is the element 3, which is minimum temperature. So if I click add new, the next element which will follow will be minimum temperature. So let's say this one was, just for example, this one, and then I move, yes, yes. Now the next element on my list is precipitation. So I set maximum, minimum, and then precipitation. Then if I click add new, so precipitation will come. Let's say it was 0 throughout the month. So, but this one I want to check total. It will check total. Very important. So now this is my last value on the list of sequencer. So that means after this value, it will go back to it will change the date and then go back to the first element set in the sequencer. That means it will change the date. It will go to the second month. When I click add new, it will go to the next month, but starting from the first sequencer. So that means it will go to Feb and then T maximum after clicking add new. You see? So after clicking add new, it change the month and to go to the first sequencer. So this is the way I set it in this here under the tools. Sorry, under the tools. So this is how I set. So start with maximum, minimum, and precipitation, and go to the next date. Start maximum, minimum, precipitation, next date, and so on and so on. So this is how the sequencer work, and this is how to configure this. So don't go away. In my next video, I'm going now to take you through the process of how to enter data. Thank you very much.